What's up, internet fam? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new there, hi, hello. My name is Ren, and I make LGBTQ lifestyle videos for you guys. So if any of that interests you, then hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another one of my videos. I post every Friday for you guys. So this week has been a little bit of a doozy. Not the greatest of weeks for me, but you know what? We're gonna push through. We're gonna keep going because it is another chaotic L-word recap. So I definitely enjoyed this episode. Lots of things happening. So let's go ahead and talk about episode 205. Remember, this is in a chaotic order. None of this is, you know, the way it went at the show. We're just gonna talk about what excited me the most. And oh my gosh, okay, so Tess tells Shane that she's, you know, someone is coming over to take her to coffee because, you know, they have their poker thing tonight and she's not gonna be able to hang out with her. So Shane's like, yeah, sure, whatever, bring her by. Guys, it is Cherie JP, and I'm just like, what? Now, in the original L-word, I did find the whole Cherie JP and Shane thing like really interesting, and I did kind of enjoy their coupling and their drama and all of that. So when I saw her back, I was like, what is she doing here? What is she doing here? Anyways, so that was so interesting. The tension between Tess and Shane in this episode was just incredible. I am still on the Tess and Shane train. That rhymed. I want them together so bad. Tess and Shane train, doot, all the way. Yes, I want it to happen. So basically Shane is like, stay for poker, you know, hang out more with Tess. I'm like, Shane, you're being so mature, but I'm just kind of like, I want Cherie to go away because I want Tess and Shane to be together, you know? And Cherie's like all over Shane, like touching her, and Tess is watching this, and I'm like, what is going on? What is happening? And then Cherie goes with Tess, and they do it, and I'm just like, why? What? She's just like all over Shane, and then Tess is like, oh yeah, sure, let's go ahead and do it. Anyways, like, no, like, anyways, and then Cherie shows up at drops Tess off, right, and shows up at Shane's door, and I'm like, what is going on right now? And then Shane lets her in, so I'm like, is this gonna be just like a mess? It is. It's just gonna be a hot mess. Honestly, it's gonna be a hot mess. Next, we have Bet. Bet had a big story, you know, for this episode, which was interesting. But basically, you know, Gigi's like, she's telling Bet, you know, she's gonna go hang out with Danny. And Bet's like, oh, okay, didn't know you were friends. And Gigi's like, oh, you know, you don't gotta be upset. And Bet's like, I'm not. I'm like, dude, she's a savage. She's straight up like, I'm not bothered. Like, honestly, I'm not bothered. Gigi's like, you can tell me how you feel. And Bet's just like, yeah, I just did. I mean, their couplage is just, it's so done. It's so done. I don't even know why. It's just done. It's plane crash to the ground. It's done. So then we have, you know, Bet, Tina, Carrie, and Angie are all ready for their, you know, therapy session with Micah. And I understand that Bet is like stressed out about all this stuff, but I'm just like, she's kind of so mean to Carrie. I mean, in the beginning, like, I was like, yeah, Carrie's annoying as crap, and like, yeah, she's annoying. But at the same time, I'm kind of just like, as the time goes on, like, I'm just kind of feeling bad for her a little bit now, because it just seems like they're just like being so mean to her, and I'm just like, I get it, like, she's kind of annoying, and she kind of, you know, doesn't say the right things, but I'm still just like, dude, like, seriously, like, I feel bad for her. But basically, you know, Bet and Carrie, they're like going at it, like at the therapy session, and, you know, Angie tells her, you know, she wants to give her kidney away, but it's like, absolutely not, you're not giving your kidney away. And I was just like, oh my gosh, she was just like, shut it down right there. And then Carrie's like trying to intervene, and then I'm just like, oh, it's just like, that's too much drama, like, no. And then, you know, Tina goes and, you know, talks to Angie about the situation, and they're just going off and off. And I'm just like, oh, like I felt kind of bad for Cherie. And Cherie keeps telling Tina, like, you know, she likes you, Beth likes you, she still likes you, she still wants to be with you, blah, 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 blah. And Tina's like, no, she doesn't, no, she doesn't, no, she doesn't. And I'm just like, like, Cherie, you're just not in a good situation, girl. You need to bounce. And then after, you know, they do the session, then Carrie's trying to talk to Tina about Bet, and Tina's not having her talk crap about Bet at all. She does not want to hear any slander from Bet. And Tina's basically like not sticking up for Cherie whatsoever. And Carrie's like, okay, fine, I'm gonna get an Uber and I'm out of here. Like I don't want to ride with you, you know? So I'm just like, I'm sensing the issues arising now with Tina and Cherie. Ooh, yeah, it's not looking so hot. Next we have Alice. She's, you know, the book is done. She's saying bye to her boy Tom, and I'm just like, I feel the romance is gonna happen. Like I feel it. I feel like it is going. I've called it before, but I just really feel that it's gonna happen. And so, you know, they part their ways. They're like, don't worry, we're gonna be friends. They part their ways. You know, Alice is about to have this, you know, dinner with Nat, and I'm just like, ugh, Nat, ugh. But, you know, Nat cancels, and I'm like, and you know, Alice is just, she's a hot mess. Like, poor thing. She's just dealing with so much right now. And so, you know, she calls Tom over. Tom, you know, helps her clean up the vase she broke, and they're chatting. And then he's like, what are these lobsters doing here alive? And she's like, you're just gonna cook them. And he's like, oh, absolutely not. We're not doing that. And then I was like, yeah, Tom. Yeah, I like you, Tom. And he's like, we need to take them to the ocean and like set them free. And I was like, yes, you are so right. You're so right. Set the lobsters free. Let them go. So I was definitely happy about that, but I'm smelling the romance between Tom and Alice for sure. They're gonna be an item. I just feel it. Like I feel it. Next we have Danny and Gigi hanging out, and I'm just like, yeah, they are definitely, they're gonna get together. I mean, Danny's basically like, hey, are you like flirting with me? And Gigi's like, I'll let you know if I am. And I'm like, yep, they're gonna get together. The conversation's flowing. They're easy to talk to. It's gonna happen. Mark my words, Gigi and Danny are gonna be the item. I'm all for it though. I think they're so cute together. I love it. I do wanna see it happen. So definitely team Gigi and Danny for sure. Then we have the whole Sophie Finley situation. Basically, Sophie's like telling Finley like, oh, you know, thanks, you're like such a great friend. And I'm like, ooh, that's a dagger to the heart right there. She just called her a friend. That's a dagger to the heart. Ugh. Basically, Tess is like, you gotta move on. You gotta find somebody else. And so she finds this chick, right? Takes her home, and they start going at it. And Sophie comes home and she's like, what the heck? So she's just asleep, like listening to this, and I'm like, hey, you called her your friend, so I mean, you can't really get upset about that, you know? So, whatevs. Lastly, we have good old Micah and Mirabelle. You know, Mirabelle, whatever. He's, you know, had a stressful day after all the Bet, Tina, Cherie, Angie stuff. He's like telling her to come over, and she comes over, and like, they're talking, and Maribel just like goes for it, and she kisses him, and they do it, and I'm just like, I mean, a lot of these pairings you can kind of like smell a mile away. Like they don't really make it like, I mean, you could tell Danny Gigi's happening, Alice Tom is happening, Micah Maribel happening. You can tell. And honestly, Bet is gonna go with Pippa. I mean, Pippa, she's gone. Like she's going with Pippa. I see it. She doesn't care about Gigi at all. She's gonna go with Pippa. Mark my words, it's happening. So, all in all, I definitely enjoyed this episode. A lot of things going on. I don't think I probably missed something. It's been a long week and my brain is shut down. So I'm just trying to go through what I can remember. But yeah, so I mean, all in all, I'm good up, and I'm just waiting for Tess and Shane right now. That's really all I want to happen at this moment. So fingers crossed that something good will happen with them soon, and Cherie won't just F everything up. But she might F everything up. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, let me know down below what you thought about this episode. Who are you ready to see a couple? Are you excited about the prospects of Tom and Alice? Them showing Alice's bisexuality. What do you guys think? I like Tom. He's a cool dude. Am I really like enamored with his character? Not really. Am I like really enamored with the two of them? Not particularly. But it will be cool to see. I'm just not as, it's not as enticing to me as like Tess and Shane, you know, so. Yeah, but I'm still excited nonetheless to see what happens. So leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you next week with another chaotic L Word recap. Much love.